Today, we're taking your everyday taco to the next level.
Layers and layers of marinated pork grilled to perfection.
A little bit juicy, a little bit crispy, and a whole lot of yum.
Topped with all the fixins, including grilled pineapple and a homemade sauce.
Oh, you want to talk about taco perfection?
Yes.
This is it.
With all the fixins.
With all those fixins. I love some good fixins. All right, let's talk pork.
Yeah, we've got a pork shoulder here.
Boneless.
The boneless, and it's the great thing about a pork shoulder is that it's got so much flavor because of all the marbling. So good. And I'm going to cut this into slices, not so thin, not so thick.
About like quarter inch, half inch.
Yes, and then we're gonna spike it.
You know, also just when you get you can get this from your butcher, you can get them from the grocery store. If there may be excess,
a little thicker than
chunks of, not too thin, chunks of fat, you want to cut that away. Ask your butcher to trim away any excess, but you want some in there because there's loads and loads of flavor.
Yeah, look at that, you guys.
And what we also do just to make it slicing a little easier, stick it in the freezer for like 30 minutes just to kind of stiffen it up, and that makes don't get them too thin.
I'm not getting them too thin.
Okay, so now we're going to make this marinade. It's going to be a marinade, and also we're going to use it as that homemade sauce. So we're going to start with my homemade chili paste. Now you can, of course, buy chili paste or chili garlic paste from the store, and that's good. But I'm telling you, homemade is so good.
So good. And you can use it for everything.
You really can. It stays in the fridge for like a couple of weeks. So let me tell you how I made this, and I made this a few days ago. We're going to start off with some dried chilies. You can get these from a lot of supermarkets or at a Mexican market, Hispanic market, or order them online. We're starting with, let's see, we've got 20 guajillo peppers, and we're going to cut off the stems. And guajillo, and then we're going to remove the seeds that are in those peppers, and then hold on to them. Then we've got 35 arbol peppers. Those have a little more heat to them, and we're going to do the same thing. Cut off the ends and try and get as much of the seeds out as possible. Okay, and then we're going to go over to the stove, and we've got a nice large skillet, and I'm going to add a cup of vegetable oil, and over medium heat we're going to let that come to a nice shimmer. Once it's shimmering like that, then we're going to add the peppers, we're going to add the guajillo, we're going to add the arbols, and then we're going to add 4 cloves of garlic, and just cook those, let them get nice and warm, all cuddly with that hot oil for about 1 minute to 2 minutes. You don't want to overdo it. You do not want to burn them. It just starts to soften them. They're releasing their own oil. And then use like a slotted spoon or tongs or both of them to carefully remove them from the oil onto a platter that's been lined with paper towels. Just kind of blot them to get that excess oil off of there. And then we're going to add those into a large pot. And then to that, we're going to add just enough water where it just covers the peppers and the garlic. And then we're going to bring that to a strong simmer and then cover it and let that simmer in that hot water for about 7 minutes until they get really, really nice and soft and pliable. Okay? Then we're going to go over to a heat-proof bowl, and we're going to put a colander on top of that, and we're going to strain those peppers into the colander and let that liquid go into the bowl. Okay, now we're going to use tongs. You've got some activities here, but it's not really that difficult. Then we're going to take those peppers and that garlic, and we are going to transfer them into our blender. And to that, we're going to add 2 teaspoons of kosher salt. We're going to add a chicken bouillon cube, and then I'm going to grab 1 cup of that chili water and put that into the blender. Then we're going to put the top on. I like to put a towel just to protect the top. And then we're going to puree it. Puree it for about 1 minute. You may need to scrape down the sides with a spatula, but you're going to puree it till it's nice and smooth. Let it cool down for a few minutes till it does cool down. And then we're going to transfer that into a jar with a lid. And like I said, this stuff will keep for 2 weeks, and you can use it in so many things, but it makes an amazing marinade. So, oops. Oh gosh, I'm excited. Okay.
Scared me.
I know. Well, I'm excited because I got through that without any
I know. I'm just over here like cutting his meat.
Cutting your meat.
Wow.
Okay. So that right there of that chili paste, that was, how much was that? That was a 1/2 cup. Okay, so now pineapple is a recurring flavor in this tacos al pastor, and I love it so much. It marinates the meat. It makes it very tender, but it adds incredible flavor. That was a 1/2 cup of pineapple juice. You want to use pure pineapple. You don't want to use a sweetened pineapple juice at all. This is a half a cup of white vinegar. I'm going to give it some of that acid, that really incredible flavor. This is a quarter cup of vegetable oil. And now this is, oops, I am really all over the place. My fingers
Slow down.
are like,
slow down, Tex.
we've got, this is called Achiote paste. You may be saying, what in the world is Achiote paste? I won't go into it other than it's very common in Costa Rica.
It's made from a shrub.
It's made from a shrub.
That gives it a really red
It really
color.
gives it a very orange reddish hue. That's, I think, the thing that it's most valued for. But it also has a very mild, sweet, kind of peppery flavor to it. You can find it in a lot of in the Hispanic section of a lot of supermarkets, and you can easily order it online. I have a link to it. And then we've got 6 tablespoons of light brown sugar. I've got 4 cloves of garlic that I didn't even chop or mince. And then we've got 1.5 teaspoons of dried oregano, preferably Mexican if you can get that, and then 1.5 teaspoons of ground cumin. Let me make sure I got all that in there. And then we've got a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves. That's going to give that little bit of sweetness that we love. And then I've got 2 tablespoons of kosher salt, and I'm going to add, I do this without dropping it, 1.5 teaspoons.
Slippery fingers. It's that achiote.
It's got a little oil.
It's got a little oil. It makes everything slippery.
And then that's 1.5 teaspoons of ground black pepper. Okay, so now we're going to puree this until it is beautiful, and it makes the most amazing. When you smell it, you're going to be like, oh wow! And that homemade chili paste, oh, it's
so good.
I'm telling you guys.
All right,
I have grown up living on tacos. It was like baby food for me. And so I was a little hesitant to ever you just don't see like pork tacos on, like at Tex-Mex restaurants that often until recently. And these have just become all the rage, and they are so unbelievably good. So I'm gonna save about 1/3 of this because we're going to heat this up. I'm going to put a little more because this makes an amazing sauce that we'll put over the tacos. Oh, look at you.
I cut that up.
You did good.
There was a big chunk of fat that I just left over there.
Right.
All right, come on.
Okay. All right. We're working as a team here. Now, you just
Yes.
pour you're going to want to do this the day before you're ready to serve these tacos because you want to give this marinade time to do its work.
It is so good, you guys. All right, I'm just gonna
soak those babies
I'm
up.
gonna just get it all up in here. There we go. Look at all that.
You guys,
Yum!
the smell already.
I am dying.
I know. And then the way we would prepare it, I mean, it's a lot of fun. You have multiple ways that you can cook this, and we'll talk about that tomorrow morning when we do it.
We have to wait.
I know.
You guys, just the smell of this is ridiculous.
Doesn't that look amazing?
All right, Chris, I have tried not to touch this. Go ahead and throw that on
That's
there.
good. Okay, we're going to cover this with foil. And then we're going to refrigerate it. I would say give it an hour is not going to do the trick, but if you can do overnight, that's ideal.
Yes. I'm going to take these off.
Yay! We're in our happy place.
Yes, we are.
We are outside. Okay,
the sun is shining.
It's a beautiful day here in North Texas. It's the next day. We have got our meat. I'll show you that in just a moment. Let's talk about our grill. There's a few ways you can cook this meat. We love to grill it.
Yes.
And this is our pan that we're going to build this beautiful pile of meat.
It's got a spike right
It's
in the
got
middle
a
of it.
spike. I've got a link to this type of pan. They're inexpensive and they're so much fun. It's a spigot, and you just want to make sure if you're going to grill like what we're going to do it on our kettle grill over here, that you've got a dome that's tall enough that'll allow this to go in there.
Right.
We also have our gas grill that this is just tall enough, and you can absolutely do this
it
in the oven
yeah.
if you wanted to, and you don't even have to stack the meat. You could just grill the meat stacked.
Right.
But,
Oops. We'll just take that off.
Talk to me. And there it is. There's that beautiful, beautiful
man.
meat. So everyone has seen the grill. We're setting up a
two-zone heat.
A 2-zone. Yeah, you don't want to do this over direct heat. So look at that. Doesn't that look great? All right. So let's. What's that you got in front of you there?
I've got a pineapple.
Oh.
Careful where you sit. But we're gonna. So at the bottom of the spigot, we're gonna put a slice of pineapple, and then we're going to top it off with another slice of pineapple. So
It just kind of helps hold it in place. It also, as it cooks, it just flavors that meat.
So I need to get Chris a little piece of this to have as a basis of that steak.
Oh, that smells so good. You can tell it this pork absorbed all the flavors of this incredible marinade.
I'm just going to take off the sides here. Even though you don't eat it, I don't know, it makes it pretty. It makes a prettier presentation.
And that's what's the most important thing.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Doesn't this look so good?
All right, so here we got this. We're ready to stick this on.
Okay.
We go right in the core.
Be careful, don't stab yourself.
There you go.
Right
there we
through
go.
the
Oops, I didn't get that very good.
It's okay.
There you go. Oh, that core is tough. There we go.
There we go.
Got it.
Nice. Okay.
Got it.
Now we are just going to start building a tower of meat.
Yes.
Boy, the things you hear at Chris and Wesley's house. And you just start stacking it. And go ahead and make sure you leave plenty of that marinade on there because it's just going to build the flavor profile incredibly much so.
Love it. And I'm going to cut the top off so that we'll have a topper twister to that.
To hold it all in place.
Hold it all together. I love that. Yay.
Okay, so we have piled this. That is, I know, wow. Okay, now I'm going to take off my gloves.
That's right. There's a garbage can back there.
Yeah, we're just tossing it in the pool.
And I'm going to top this off. I want to make sure that I get on here good.
Now, while you're doing that,
look at that.
Is that not a... just that alone is so impressive.
I love that. I love that.
Wait.
Okay. All right.
So now, this is always the fun part. So we're going to take this over to our grill, very carefully place it. We've got it, like I said, we've got it preheated. You're gonna wanna maintain a temperature. We're gonna put the lid on of around 425, and it's gonna go for about 2 hours.
Yeah.
But then we'll come back and snip kind of some burnt
There we
edges.
go. I love it.
All right, here we go. Masterpiece.
That's amazing.
I mean, it is.
That is amazing.
Talk about a showstopper. So real quick, after about an hour, we took off the lid and then we used our kitchen shears to clip away the dark spots on the meat. And then after about an hour and 45 minutes, we added the pineapple slices that Wesley cut earlier.
All right.
We got our pineapple here nicely grilled. We got this all off of the grill at the same time, and I'm just going to give this pineapple a nice chop. It is so good on these tacos.
And I've got 2 of our homemade corn tortillas. I love them. I love them.
Those are homemade. They're easy to make. We've got the recipe on the blog and a link to it. Did you think that's plenty?
I think that's plenty.
Thanks. Well,
Get to cutting this thing. I can't wait anymore.
I know. Okay, so now I'm just going to hold it in place and let's start cutting this.
And we like to leave a little of the oil in the bottom of the pan just because it gets that meat.
And you want those little, these are kind of like burnt ends that are so crispy and so flavorful.
I just watered. I just watered the plant.
I know. I could with as much as my mouth is salivating. Yeah, and so like Wesley said, there's a little bit of that rendered grease that's in the...
Chris, that's great. Here, come on, let's get going.
That's in the pan, and you could just look at that. Oh my goodness gracious.
I'm going to grab a little bit.
The flies are here to join us to celebrate.
There we go.
Well, look at those tortillas. And this is our sauce that we heated up that we left over, remember? That is, again, if it tastes the way it smells.
There we go. Look at that. Chris, can we have a little accoutrement?
Have a little moment.
Some of that.
Yeah, let me give you some of this.
Pineapple. Yes.
The pineapple really, oh my gosh.
Cilantro.
The smoky pineapple just puts it over the top.
A little cilantro. That's
Little
cilantro.
chop, little red onion.
And now we have this amazing
The sauce.
Oh. Okay.
So you get your own plate and I don't get one?
No, we're gonna share this one. Go on, let's do it.
Okay, I guess
Okay, get away from me, fly. Shoe fly. Okay.
Oh boy, these tortillas.
ready?
Yes, I was born ready.
That meat
Is mind-blowing.
amazing.
And the combination of flavors, there's
The
a
sauce.
It's the new taco,
then
the new
the-
taco in town. And the pineapple.
Pineapple.
The flavors come together.
I'm dying, y'all. Okay. All right, I'm gonna get real messy. These are 1,000,000% Luna approved. A million.
Wow, we
A
already
million.
jumped there. I'm gonna say it too. These are like 5 million.
What is that? That's crazy.
All right. We're gonna say our goodbyes real fast. We love you so much. We hope you're enjoying some beautiful weather. It's that time of the year. Get out.
Make this.
Make tacos.
You can make it in the oven.
Be nice to each other. Love each other. And remember, all we need is love and tacos.
All right.
Bye, everybody.